Welcome in, everybody. Yes, we are here. It is our Pokemon Violet Wonderlock, the first Wonderlock on this channel, and I could not be more excited to jump into this one. This is obviously something a little bit different. If you don't know, we'll kind of talk about the rules, things like that as we get into things, but we are here. I went ahead, just selected a character, and named ourselves Lucky, of course. Now, you'll notice again, there's a few different things with this layout than we've seen on some previous ones, and part of that is because of the way the Pokemon Violet game works. And so in this case, we have got three different pathways. We've got the Victory Road path, the Path of Legends, and Starfall Street. We're gonna be completing all of those, tracking progress just below me. And so as we continue through the game and hopefully progress, hopefully don't lose, we'll see those bars fill up as we go. So that's gonna be how we kind of track our progress. I think that's a little bit of a cleaner way to do it than trying to basically have a dedicated space for every little thing. But look at this, guys. We are jumping into what is such an exciting game. I'm really, really excited for this. Obviously, this is a Wonderlock, not a randomized Nuzlocke, which I know is different for us. But guys, look at this. We're going to be jumping. There's Director Clavel. Look at that. So there's a couple things I want to kind of talk about as we jump into this. So again, this is a Nuzlocke, which means if a Pokemon faints, it is considered dead. We can no longer use it. Obviously, we have to nickname every Pokemon. Though this time, we'll see how that works. I don't actually remember. In Wonder Trading, I'm not 100% sure that we can actually change the nicknames. So we'll see what we can do there. But we also, of course, can only catch one Pokemon in each area. Now we're dedicating each area as an encounter. And truth be told, what I should do, let's actually go ahead and pull up this. And let's create a game. And let's go Violet. Let's see what we got here. Violet. Perfect. Let's go ahead and create a game on Nuzlocke.app. Again, guys, Nuzlocke.app is what I use to kind of track all of these. I'm not sponsored or in any way affiliated with them, but their system is really good. So very, very happy to see that. But here's the deal. This is a Wonderlock. It is not a regular Nuzlocke. And how this works. Look at this epic battle. I love this so much. This game is so fun to me. I know a lot of people had a lot of technical difficulties, things like that. Totally understand. But for me, this is one of my favorites. The way that a Wonderlock works, it's very different than a normal Nuzlocke or a randomized Nuzlocke. So we do still only get the opportunity to catch the first Pokemon we run into. We will obviously kind of see what those Pokemon are and then get to choose the encounter. So it might be a little bit easier for us to finagle our way into an easy catch. Oh, here we go. Miraidon, let's go. Oh, I'm so stoked. We got to see this first, right, guys? Look at this. Pokemon Violet. All right. What I'm noticing also that my limiter is not working, so we're gonna see how that goes. Dude, look how cool this is. Let me just pull my audio down a hair. There we go. All right. The Flamigos, just chilling. I have to watch this. This is just so fun. There's the Academy. Look at that. So epic. So epic. The fact that this is open world, the fact that we just get to go our own way, to reference Fleetwood Mac, like, it's amazing. I love it. This is so exciting, guys. There goes Miraidon. We're gonna have to go find him. Anyway, yeah, so this is a bit of a different setup than we would normally do. Obviously, whatever Pokemon we would normally catch, that is our randomized encounter. In this case, we can't randomize this game. I'm playing on the Switch, we're not randomizing it. But we can Wonderlock it. And what we do after we catch an encounter, as soon as we are able, which I believe will take a little bit of time to get there, but as soon as we are able, we are going to be Wonder Trading those away for a new encounter. Now, there's some stipulations around what we can keep and what we can't keep. We'll talk about that, of course, as we go through. But more importantly, right now, that is how we are going to pick our encounters, or excuse me, get our encounters. And we basically, it's going to be a little interesting, we'll say. Excuse me, part of the issue with this is that we are going to have to work around levels, which is a little tricky, in particular with something like this, where we won't have a ton of rare candies available, anything like that. And so we are gonna have to make our best effort in this instance, but here we are, guys. We get to jump right in. Look at, I love the Spanish, like, setting that they did for this. I don't know, there's something about it that's really, really fun. And look at these textures. Like, say what you will about the game, obviously it has technical issues, for sure. Not gonna question that, but it does look pretty good when it works, Anyway, guys, I'm really excited. I never, like, this game came out, and technically the channel had already been created, but I had never sat down to play it on recording for anybody. And so this is really the first opportunity that we're gonna get to see that. Now, I will say, of course, we did do some Nuzlocke, or not Nuzlocks, but some shiny hunts and things like that, which were really fun. But here we go, guys. The enrollment documents for the Academy. Here is the professor. What a silly character. Some of the best characters I feel like are in this game, and I love that. I think it's so fun. So we are gonna see how things go. But man, this is just so exciting. I'm so excited. I haven't done a Wonderlock before. I think I might have like attempted a Wonderlock just for the fun of it on my own, which was a really, really good time, but I never beat it. I never did the thing. I did not read what I was supposed to do. I'm gonna pretend like I know and say I need to go upstairs. I hate how slow I'm walking. I can't run yet, which is a little silly, but that's fine. Yes, I do know what I need to do. I am ready to grab my hat and bag. Look at that. I just know, man. You gotta give me some credit on that one. I know what I'm doing. He says optimistically. Ah, man. All right, fantastic. So part of the Nuzlocke.app feature is that we kind of get to see the general order of things. There, as we know, this is an open game for the most part, and so there really isn't a correct or incorrect way. However, based on the levels, there is a most optimal way, in particular for a Nuzlocke. Now, I am not gonna say this is a hardcore Nuzlocke. I think in particular with a level cap, that's gonna be a little bit tricky. So I'm not gonna worry about levels as far as being a little over level, maybe a little under level. I'm not gonna stress about that. We are just going to play as is and hope for the best. And I think that's fine. That does mean technically we can play on Switch mode if we want, but I do like the added difficulty of not playing on Switch mode. So I don't know, we'll maybe see what we want to do there, but look how beautiful this is, guys. It's so cool. This is so cool. There's so much, like, I don't know, there's so much to love about this game. I did, by the way, try and look into randomizing this game and doing something along those lines. For me, I was running into a few difficulties and just snags, and because we technically just finished up our Pokemon Y Nuzlocke, I didn't really want to put too much time and effort into that because I wanted to get graphics done, which I'm pretty proud of the graphics, but I also wanted to get the first recording done so we can get this started. And so in the end, I think Wonderlock is definitely the best way to go. And I'm really excited for it. This is going to be such a blast, guys. So I believe what we do is we don't actually get to use these yet. There's also a lot of pregame before we can actually like Wonderlock any of our encounters. So before the Wonderlock actually takes place, as in before the Wonder Trade actually takes place, we can't really consider it a started Nuzlocke run. Part of me honestly thought about jumping in and doing my best to get as far like to that point where we can Wonder Trade, but I didn't want you guys to miss out on anything. I felt like this was a good way of kind of jumping in and let's see, so we do have that jumping in and kind of talking through what this Nuzlocke is going to look like before we do any of that, and so that's kind of where we're at. Really, there's not a whole lot to do at the moment aside from grab some items. We're supposed to get to know these little guys, but I mean, we know. And we're not going to be holding on to them for very long. That's kind of the hard part about this game, actually, is that, you know, we can't get too attached to our early game encounters until we Wonderlock. I'm a little sad about that because, okay, we can run now, thank goodness. Running is such a game changer. All right. Fantastic, guys. So here is where we actually get to pick our starter. Again, doesn't really count for a whole lot because we're going to be wonder trading them away, but we'll get through this little beginning part and then we'll make it happen. Leave some hype down below. If you guys are excited for this series, I know I am. This is the newest game, obviously, in the franchise, and so it's really fun to be able to jump into this in a Wonderlock fashion. And, I mean, I just love this game. I've always needed to beat Violet too, so this is kind of a double whammy for me, being able to jump in, hopefully beat the game, and basically be able to shiny hunt later on if I want. Boy Coco, that's my boy, man. I did actually, so I've beaten Scarlet a long time ago. That I beat within like the first week of getting the game. Loved it, absolutely had a blast. I did not have as many, I will say, technical issues as I know some people had. And so I think it was a little bit different for me, or maybe less difficult for me, is the best way to put it. Look at little Foy Coco, man. He's so good. He's so good. Sprigatito is also amazing. Quaxley is by far and away my least favorite of the starters. Maybe that's a little question of the day. In Scarlet and Violet, which of these starter Pokemon is your favorite? Or maybe even rank them. Can you rank them? That's a good question. I feel like for me, it's Foy Coco, Sprigatito, and then Quaxley. I think. Sprigatito is very good. I just never really used it that much. I did get the, I have used it in just some random battles and things like that, but nothing too crazy at this point, so. Heck yes. All right. So we know we are going to be picking Foy Coco. Like I said, guys, the only trick with this game, I'm not 100% sure I'm able to rename anything that we wonder trade away. And so we may not be able to nickname Pokemon after you guys in this one. However, you guys are with me. You know you guys are with me. In my heart, you guys are always with me as we run through these games, and I really do appreciate it. You guys are amazing. So let's go ahead and take our boy Foy Coco here. I'm not going to give it a nickname again because it doesn't matter. Nicknames are a little tricky in Wonderlocks, so we are not going to be using that, but look at him. Little dinosaur legs. He's such a chonky. He's such a chonky. I love it. I absolutely love it. All right. So I am going to mark our starter for now and just say captured, despite the fact that, of course, it won't be our final starter, and I'll actually swap that out later on. So again, just tracking where our encounters are going to be, so that way we don't overdo or accidentally catch an extra one or anything like that. Ooh, I have got something in my eye. Goodness. So I'm actually curious. I don't know how quickly we can actually get to the Wonderlock sessions. So like, this episode may just be kind of the pregame session until we can actually get to the network communication where we can actually wonder trade. So I'm really excited to see what happens there. But right now, we have got a battle ahead of us. We have got to take down this Sprigatito. One thing to note again about the levels, I do want to talk about that a little bit, because that is kind of a difficult. Anytime you do a Wonderlock, it's a little bit challenging because you never know what level the Pokemon will be when you get them, and so there's every possibility we wonder trade right away, get a level 100 shiny, legendary, crazy Pokemon, and obviously we can't really use that. So what we're gonna do. So first and foremost, dupes is always in effect. So if we do get the same Pokemon, I have the option to re-encounter, as in wonder trade again and find something that's different, species and dupes. But on top of that, if we find ourselves, like if the next gym level is, I don't know, 15, and we wonder trade and get a level 30, I think if it's within like 10 levels, I may kind of force myself to keep it, because it is technically a new mon. We could theoretically use it. It's a little bit tricky. There's some gray area there, but if it's too high, or mainly if it's too high of a level, if it's too low, I don't think that's a problem. But if it's too high and we just can't use it, we may have to invoke a re-encounter rule, at least in the beginning. I think in the beginning it's way more important because obviously we've only got a handful of Pokemon and like I can't really do too much about that. And so we're gonna see what happens as we go through in that regard. But I have every hope that we don't have too many issues with that. We'll see. This is a very easy battle for us, obviously. There we go. Mark as a victory. Did it. Love it. Guys, first battle down. Not that it was a difficult battle, but unfortunately this episode is going to be a bit slow, I'm realizing. But you know what? It's fine. We're just going to have some fun. We're not in a rush. This is a brand new series, man. We're just going to have a blast. Do we have to? Oh, we don't have to battle again, right? Yeah. This dude pops back in. Lavel. I don't know. I don't know how to say it. My hair is sticking up in the back so bad. I should have worn my hat and I chose not to. I'm also, by the way, in the midst of swapping computers. So something I've noticed recently in my own workflow, and this is something that I feel like we could all maybe learn from, but I have noticed in my workflow that I normally had a PC set up here, which is what I usually record on. And then I had a MacBook Pro set up to the side. That was kind of my fun computer. That was my music computer. That's what I record on. As far as the music side of things goes, because I do use Logic. But anyway, all that to say, I found myself getting very distracted. I wasn't able, like, I would put a YouTube video on, anticipating to get some work done or do some editing or whatever. And then I just got so engrossed in the YouTube video that I completely forgot about doing any of the work. And so I was getting way too distracted and less focused on my work. And it was a bit of a problem. It's kind of been an ongoing problem that I've very recently kind of discovered in myself. And so for me, I thought it was best to maybe pare that down into a single computer setup. And so literally like last night, I went through and kind of did some changes, swapped some things around, and tried to simplify my setup. And I think it's for the best. I really do. Now, this is only day one of me using it, and I'm on my MacBook Pro. I've kind of completely removed the PC from the picture here, but I like it. It's a little more focusing. I'm stuck, right? Like I can't just jump to this computer and start, watching a YouTube video or watching a movie or whatever. Like, I'm very much focused on specifically this, and I like that. I like that a lot. Now, it does mean it's a little bit harder to, update the Nuzlocke app, that kind of thing. But honestly, it's not that hard, especially in this case where we've got, running off of a Switch. It's actually not that difficult. And so I'm going to be learning as I go here, guys. I do apologize because it is a bit of a learning process for me because I'm used to a 2-computer setup and all that. But I think this will be for the best, for sure. It has to be. I think it's a little tricky to try and focus on multiple things at once. I don't love it, and so I thought simplifying the process would be a good thing. So, all right, we are nearly 20 minutes in, and we are finally going to be able to learn how to catch a Pokemon, which still doesn't unlock, by the way, the Wonderlock feature, but we'll get there. Again, it might be that in the next episode is when we really get to see what our first few encounters will be. I think that's great. Like, I'm totally good with that. Also, by the way, guys, it doesn't actually matter which Pokemon we catch. So we can, in this case, if we find a Lechonk as our encounter in this area, it's totally fine to go and catch another Lechonk in a different area. Doesn't actually matter that much. So I think that's actually a benefit to us because we can just catch the easiest, catch rate Pokemon and not really have a problem with that. So we'll kind of see how things go, but I think that's kind of the plan. I'm really excited to see what these Wonder Trades will be, and I think that again will be the fun part of hopefully the next episode. Try battling it. I will. That was great. I don't know if you guys saw the visual jump that just happened, but I love it. I'm just gonna Ember. I don't think we're gonna kill it. Defense fell. I guess I'll tackle. I don't know. Very good. So I think this is our Poco Path encounter, which is awesome. So just go ahead and throw that Pokeball. And again, I am marking this as a way of reminding myself that, hey, we did capture a Pokemon here, but I am not, like, this is not technically our actual encounter. You'll notice no layout changes until we do get the final Wonderlock Pokemon. So again, don't have to worry about nicknaming here either. And there we go. We got another Wonderlock token. I love that. Very good. So here's my goal. I think my goal is I want to get to the lighthouse because if I'm not mistaken, we'll get a handful of encounters in between here and there. Well, no, we won't get another encounter before the lighthouse, I don't believe. But I do think we can get through quite a bit of the early game in today's episode. I really want to ensure that we can get some wonder trades in the next episode. That's kind of my hope. Very nice. Is there an item over? I do like searching for items in this game. It's a little addicting for me. I don't know why. It's not like they're great items most of the time anyway. But I mean, they're free, and in this instance, it's money. You know what I mean? If nothing else, it's money. Can I not? There we go. A revive. So that's money. Go ahead and grab this. So excited for this, guys. Antidote's actually huge. I'm super happy to have that. So again, because this isn't randomized, guys, I do think it's important to note, obviously, the gym leaders, all of the normal trainers in the game will have their normal Pokemon. That isn't going to change. And so we are going to find that potentially, I mean, we don't know, but potentially this could be a lot easier, or depending on our wonder trades, it could be a lot harder. And so we have no clue yet what it's going to look like, but I am really excited about that. I do want to address shinies because there's a very real possibility that we get some shiny Pokemon throughout this run because they're pretty prevalent in these games. So if we do get a shiny, we are allowed to catch it. We do not have to wonder trade it. I can wonder trade it, but I'm gonna probably choose not to wonder trade it. And that just counts as a shiny encounter. As you guys know, if we find a shiny, we are always allowed to catch it in these Nuzlocks. That's just the rules that I play by. I've kind of always played that way. And so I'm really excited to see what we get there. But look at this. All right. So we have to go down this way. We may not. We have to do all the Miraidon stuff, I suppose, don't we? There's so much in the beginning of this game, guys. So I do apologize that this first episode is probably just like beginning story stuff, but that's okay, right? We're not in a rush. It's gonna start slow and it's gonna pick up very quickly, I think, is my guess. I do need to check audio levels, and again, check my limiter on my microphone. I don't think it should be too bad, but I saw it peaking a little bit, and I don't love that. So I want to make sure we're not going too crazy. I did do some filtering and some checking, but again, I'm resetting all of this up because I'm on a different computer now. So yeah. Oh, I bought a camera. So I spoke in a previous, I don't remember which, I guess it would have been, the Pokemon Y Nuzlocke, that I really want to upgrade my photography camera. I've got a A7 II right now, which if you don't know, if you're not a photography person, that's totally fine. I shoot Sony. I'm on a Sony A6600 right now, which is why this looks, I think, reasonable, hopefully. But it shoots in 4K. I've got a 4K capture card on it, so like it's looking solid. And quality, in my opinion, is something that should never be a barrier for entry when it comes to content. And so I've always tried to level up that quality of content when I can. And my A7 II photography camera is a wonderful little camera. It's nothing, it's a really nice little guy, but I've had it for a handful of years now, and I'm starting to notice I'm hitting limits in certain areas, in particular with resolution. By today's standards, it's a lower res camera. It's certainly a good camera. It is, you know, a mirrorless, not DSLR, but a mirrorless interchangeable lens camera. It's a good camera. But as I'm trying to take better photos, make higher quality, you know, photos in that regard, I'm finding myself kind of hitting the limitation of that camera. And I've never upgraded my photo camera before, so I think this is a golden opportunity to do so. So I have upgraded to, and it should be here tomorrow, actually. By the time this goes out, it will have been here, but a Sony a7R IV, which has one of the biggest sensors. It's like a 62.5 megapixel, I think that's correct. I think actual like final resolution is like 61 megapixels in the sensor, which is ridiculous. Like that is a lot. By comparison, like I think the Sony a7 II is maybe 24. And so I'm very near 3 times the resolution that I would have already, or I would have previously gotten. And so I'm pretty excited to get that. I'm pretty excited to test it. This weekend, my wife and I are celebrating our 3rd anniversary of being married. We're gonna go out, have a drink or two at a local place that we haven't actually, well, we've been to, but we haven't actually been there on like a date. And so we're getting somebody to watch our daughter, and we're gonna have a little date. And I'm so excited because I spoke in a previous video about how my wife and I had a really good, just kind of heart-to-heart conversation recently, that our communication, because we've been busy, I mean, to no fault of any specific person, I think we've just had some communication issues recently. And I'm really glad that we decided to sit down and talk about it, because that was about a little over a week ago. And at this point, like, I'm seeing both of us making efforts in terms of resolving that. And it's wonderful. Like, we're sitting down and talking after work like we used to. And we're sitting down, you know, after the little one goes to bed, and we're able to chat and have a good time. Like, it's just great. And so I don't know what encounter. Is this the grotto? I'm not sure. We're gonna see. I'm gonna try and catch this. Please don't die. Cool. Excuse me. But this would be another new encounter for us if we can get it. We can always check, by the way, on the where we caught it. So I'm gonna see what we get. Awesome. Another new encounter for us, guys. That means in the next episode, hopefully, we'll be able to Wonder Trade that bad boy away. I can't wait to see what the Wonder Trades are actually gonna be. I think that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be the excitement of the next episode, I think. Let's do, why? Oh, I can't check. Oh, interesting. Okay, so I can't check that right now. Huh. Well, we caught a Pokemon here, so I feel good about it. I'm sure that this is a new encounter, so I'm not stressed about that. I know for a fact this is a new encounter, in fact, so. I think our goal here, guys, is gonna be to get through this little Houndoom battle. We'll see what we can do there. And then, yep, or Houndoom, whatever battle. I think we'll see what we can do here. And then, yeah, I think that might be it. This may be a bit of a longer episode to kick things off, and I think that's fine. Actually, I kind of think it's great. Again, guys, I am gonna pick up as many of these items as I can find, and I believe I saw one over. Yeah, look at that. Only because I want to be able to sell items as best I can, and I really want to make sure that we give ourselves the best opportunity possible to get some incredible Pokemon in this one, and keep ourselves alive, because I really don't know what to expect in a Wonderlock. And that's kind of the fun, right? It's like a randomized Nuzlocke, but it's up to other people. Like, it's up to whatever everybody else decides to trade away. And so I'm kind of curious to see how this goes. I think it should be a very fun time. All right. Here we go. I think this is the Houndoom. I think it's a Houndoom. Maybe I'm wrong. I am correct. Once again, when you know, you know. So this battle is obviously a static battle. We can't do anything about this. And so we just have to try and battle and it won't work and it's fine. I think Miraidon just like pops out and says, nah, dog. Literally, dog. Look at Houndoom, man. I would love a Houndoom. Oh. I'm so excited for this game. Look at this. Let's go. Good thing Miraidon's a straight up monster. You know what I realized though? We're gonna have to Wonder Trade Miraidon if we catch it. Which I guess is at the very end of the game. The final battle will be the Professor battle, which is an insane battle. When I played Scarlet for the first time, I underestimated how difficult that battle would be. It was ridiculous, like truly, truly ridiculous. It was so hard. Well, actually, no, is that gonna be the last battle? No, I'm sorry. I don't think that is the last battle. So we do, I mean, there is the champion battle, so I guess it's just that, but nice, dude. And we're at the lighthouse. We've got, man, I just cannot wait to jump into this, guys. This is gonna be such a blast. Or Miraidon, no. I may try and do a handful of recordings today just to see if I can get ahead, because I'm really, really excited about jumping into the Wonderlock aspect of this. I also just love playing these games, man. I actually did start Violet a while back and got a ways in. As I said, I beat Scarlet in the first week, and then I was like, you know, I really want to be able to shiny hunt the Paradox Pokemon in Violet in particular. And so I made a lot of progress there. I never did beat it, but I got fairly far. But I had to reset it, obviously, for this, which is fine. Like, I'm more than happy to do that because I'm not losing out on anything, really. And so I'm really excited that we're here. We can jump into this and hopefully, again, beat the game. So we will see. Very good. I think what I'm going to do here, guys, is, first and foremost, I think that is the Inlet Grotto, but thank you. I'm good. Let's check the summary here. Where did we catch you? Does it tell me? Yes, Inlet Grotto. Awesome. So that is a Yungoos, and we did catch it. And currently, we're gonna add it to the team. Now, what I want to know, more importantly, is where we are at now. It doesn't tell me. Okay. All right. Well, I think with that, for the time being, what I'm gonna do is save the game right here. And what we will do in the next episode is kick off, with the lighthouse cutscene, which I think is where we meet Arven. And then I think after that, the world kind of opens up, and we'll actually get a start on hopefully wonder trading some Pokemon and seeing what we can get. So guys, thank you so much. I really appreciate all the support. I'm really excited for this new series. I know this episode is a little bit slower than hopefully we were looking for, but it's just because there's a lot of beginning to this game, and I didn't want to skip any of that. I wanted you guys to see what we caught. I wanted all the encounters to be fair, and so that's why we did this episode. But I'm hoping in the next one we can really, really make some progress. And guys, thank you again for just being such huge supporters of not just the channel, but the content, everything. It really does mean the world to me. We are gonna kick some butt in Pokemon Violet, and I cannot wait. So thank you guys so much. Stay tuned for the next episode. Schedule will be down below. I think this is going to be the Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday schedule. I think that's going to be pretty much it. But definitely look down below for rules as well as schedule, all that stuff. And thank you guys again. I'll see you soon.